Hey guys, hope that you are doing well. My name is Vojislav Dragovic, and it is pleasure of mine to present you Playerhunter Talks podcast, where we will be discussing the most relevant football topics with industry experts. This podcast has been brought to you by Playerhunter and SmrtStats. Playerhunter transfer platform is the first and only free-to-use transfer execution platform that easily connects agents and their players with adequate club requests from all over the world with the help of smart matching. You only need to create yourself an agent account on Playerhunter mobile app and list your players and wait for the available opportunities. You can find the download link to Playerhunter app in the description of this video. Also, if you are looking for a new performance analysis and video scouting platform, SmrtStats is helping you to make the smartest choice. Currently, there is a promotional pricing both for the agents and agencies, but also for the clubs, and the prices per year for agencies are starting from 1,500 euros per one account. So in case that you would like to explore alternatives to the existing scouting platforms, feel free to reach us out via contact channels that are also in the description of this video. This is the starting season of Playerhunter Talk podcast, and today I have a pleasure to speak with Mr. David Balda, Sport Director at Śląsk Wrocław. First of all, David, thank you very much for joining us at Playerhunter Talks today, and how are you doing?
Pleasure for myself, mate. Thanks a lot, Vojislav. I'm very good. I'm very good. You know, when you look on the table, so it's even better. So it's always make me smile. You know, every morning. So that's great. You know.
That sounds really good, especially since I had the chance to actually look closer to these rounds that you already went through, and I can definitely understand the reason of your satisfaction at the moment. So, for a start, let's say I would say that you and your team are doing quite a good job in this part of the season. Let's say from the beginning of it. So, what would be your first impression after these rounds? Besides that, you are very happy when you look at the table. Can you give me some deeper analysis of your club work in these first 12 rounds, right?
Yeah. So basically, first impressions. Look, it was a tough 2 seasons, you know, for the club. Two tough seasons in a row for the club. They nearly relegated, so they've been 15 on the table, you know, in the last 2 years. Also, the last year, the reserve team relegated, under 19 relegated, so it was a big mess from the beginning. But yeah, I just came here, you know, just put the head down and started work, you know, really hard. And you know, the hard work pays off. So I'm really satisfied for that, because it's not really something like a fake success, you know. So we are really working hard for that. We are always trying to improve the things every day. You know, even if we are going to win, we analyze what we can do better. So that's pretty simple. You know, so we are grateful where we are, but we also know there is still lots of games, you know, until the end of the season. So we need to work hard and we need to work smart. You know, so first impressions. You know, right now great. The club is great. You know, it was always great. So we had a really nice stadium, you know, we have international airport, we have the city close to 1 million people, you know, so it's a metropolitan city. The fans, the training facilities, decent, you know, so everything is in good condition in Wrocław. So unfortunately, last year's wasn't really great in case of the results, but the club already had the potential, you know, to achieve that result. So we needed a bit of more smart work, you know, more hungry players, more winning mentality in the club. So that's what we built, and that's why we are where we are.
Can you describe? I mean, I know that you already were on these roles earlier, but just in order to explain to our listeners and of course people that would watch this, can you describe your journey and background in the football until this moment?
Well, I played football, you know, since young age, since 5 years old. Actually, I started with hockey, but I couldn't ski, you know. so it's very important, you know, to play hockey. So the parents gave me to the football. From beginning, I wasn't a really good player, but I also worked hard, you know, on my football career. So when I was 16, I was called back to Banja Ostrava, and I've been in national team for under 16, under 17, but I never made it to the first team. And when I was, let's say, 16, 17, 18, I already was looking for the agents, abroad. So I already made a contact, with the agents abroad as a player. And I got an opportunity to play, to get a trial in Leicester City under Sven-Goran Eriksson. So it was a great opportunity. It was 2011. I came there as a footballer, but I wasn't good enough. And I was deciding what I can do, if I should come back, and start in second, third division and move forward, or if I will stay in England and will try some lower division and play football. But so I decided to stay in England. Unfortunately, I've been on a few trials, but I never been good enough. In fourth, fifth, sixth division, I never been good enough. So I said, okay, I will stop the football, and I started more communicate with the agents. Of course, I had a normal work, but in the free time, I spoke with the agents, I spoke with the clubs. So that was the beginning of first cooperation with the agents. I get a mandate, I try to propose some players, I made some analysis for the clubs, etc. After that, I was employed in very good agency in England. In 2014, I moved back to the Czech Republic, to Ostrava. I got in position of chief scout of Banja Ostrava. It was 2014. I was basically 23 years old and very young, chief scout. In half a year, it changed the transfer manager position, manager of international relations. I was also translator of the coach, so I was like third assistant coach. So it was 4 jobs, one payment, as usual. But yeah, I stayed 2 years in Banja Ostrava. It was up and down from beginning. We saved the club, we sold the players for decent money, but after that, the owner was struggling with the money, and we couldn't afford basically anything. New owner came, bought the club, fired us all, without any single word. I was looking for a job. In 2016, I finished, but in a few months, I found a job. I got an opportunity in Raków Częstochowa in Poland. That time they played third division, and the owner, Michal Świerczewski, was a very ambitious guy, a young guy, didn't know too much about the football at the time, but now he's an expert. But back to the times, 2016, and I was changing the coach. I was looking for a coach. I found Marek Papszun in Świdnowy Dwór Mazowiecki. Marek become the best coach in Poland, in few years. But I've been in Raków as a sporting director for a few months. I was basically sacked, but Michal phoned me after 1 year, to call me back in the scouting department. So I was basically scout of Raków Częstochowa. I had also, episode as an agent in World in Motion agency for 3 years. After World in Motion, I moved to FK Senica to Slovakia as a general manager of the club. But I was there for 1 year. Financial troubles again. Unfortunately, we changed owner 3 times. In 1 year. Basically, I didn't know the other 2 owners, which own the club, and they didn't care about the club. So I was taking care about everything, about players' conversations, players' talks, contracts. But I was also taking care about accountant things, and cash flow and looking for the sponsors. I was also creating the posts to the media, on social media, Instagram, Facebook. I set up the YouTube account. I hired 2 Indonesian players, which helped us, to grow the marketing potential. But we did decent. We've been in semi-final Slovakian Cup, without 8-month salaries. So it was good achievement. For some people, it can be incredible, but yeah, we had a strong mentality that the time, but I couldn't hold it anymore. So I left after the season. There was nothing like it would be better. And when I left Senica as a general manager, I said, hey, I don't want to move back to the football because in my region it's a bit tough. So I joined 11 Team Sports, the biggest distributor of Nike, Adidas, Puma in Europe, I would say. So I was staying in 11 team sports. I was basically dealing with pro clubs. I was selling the goods, like boots, jerseys, etc. And but I was starting missing football again, more to be involved in the game. So that's the reason why I look for the company. I joined Skill Corner, which focus on the player analysis, and mostly the physical data, like the sprints, sprinting distance, high intensity, the maximum speed. Actually, Skill Corner measures over 60 leagues around the world, with the same algorithm and with the same AI technology. So it was great experience, in the Skill Corner. And yeah, so it was analytical part of the job, but surprisingly for me, the Śląsk Wrocław called me if I would be interested to be at least on the big list of the candidates for the sporting director role. I said, hey, okay, that sounds interesting, because they knew my history from Raków, because Raków, from third division in 5 years, they become a champion of Poland.
Yep.
So they now play the cups. So that was a great journey, and I was also the part of that success. And when I was working for 11 Team Sports, I was basically, the Śląsk Wrocław was my client. So I was often on the games. I knew the players, I knew the people in the club, so they knew me already. And when I got that call from the president, I was surprised but happy as well. So we had one talk, second talk, third talk, and they decided to hire me, instead of, I would say, better people, better CV people, don't think with the higher qualities, but at least they look better on the paper. But yeah, they gave me trust in the summer, in June. And of course, the beginning wasn't easy, because there were so many talks around myself, about my history. But I said, everybody, hey guys, just wait a bit, let's see what I can do, and I will protect myself with the results, So they gave me trust, and the results are great. We changed how on the team with the coach. We changing the standards of the club. We basically changing everything, So the Poland directors working mainly the same, but I am just exceptional, If everybody goes to the Turkey for the camp, I don't go to the Turkey. I go to the Croatia, for example, for better adaptation when it comes back, And not many of them using the data scouting, not many of them using the analysis, like the proper analysis. They think the technical player can win the game. I don't believe in that. I believe in physicality, and determination, and more balanced team. So even we don't have a stars. From the good solid team, the stars will race, like Eric Exposito right now, the top scorer of Poland extra classes. So yeah, we changing the style of managing the club. I am also very open to the fans. I have no problem to say why this transfer didn't happen. I am also explaining why this transfer happened, why we wanted the player. So I'm very open to the fans, because basically it's not my club, it's not the club of the president, it's the club from all of us, from Wrocław. So also the fans deserves to be involved, in the conversation, to see what's really going inside the club, because everybody talking about transparency, but tell me how they really are transparent. They just posting what they want to post, they don't post the shitty stuff, what happens in the club. But I have no problem to say, hey, it was like that, or it was like that, So I'm very open to the fans. They like that, and that's pretty natural for me, And I think, yeah, we change a lot of things, in the club, and it really works, and we want to keep that. Short introduction.
Absolutely. I mean, you went through a lot of these, I would say, intros for my upcoming questions for sure.
Yeah.
And you had quite an interesting journey, let's put it that way, until this moment.
Still young, still 32,
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's say, what would be, for the people that are not involved, and you mentioned right now the fans and their understanding of the whole process and transparency and everything. So what would be the, let's say, primary responsibilities as a sport director of one football club? and how do they differ from those of, let's say, you were on multiple roles in your history, but how that differ from, let's say, coach or a general manager or a head scout? Because I really want your point of view here on that part.
Well, everybody thinks the sporting director is the transfer guy, let's say, but it's not basically like that. As a sporting director, right now I'm mainly outsourcing the job. I hired four full-time scouts, so they basically do the scouts. So I believe in them. I don't do the scouting at 2, 3, 4 in the morning like usually. So now they do that, and I just mainly focus on the final scouting. So I give the first filter to the scouts, to make to check the player, and after that I will come in, and make the final scouting. Of course, the sporting director is the guy who is negotiating the deals, with the clubs, with the agents, with the players. So that's the biggest part, but that's only part like 2 months in a year, which is very intense. Of course, you can speak with the player half year in advance, etc. But it's not really a daily work, So my daily work is to look for the improvements to the club. For example, right now we are working to make a better gym. So I need to find a provider of the gym tools, and gym machines. So I was also in Croatia, like for last 2 days. I was traveling across Croatia, so I've been picking up the hotel and the pitches, for our winter camp. So I'm thinking in advance. Just to know, we have 29 categories, in our club where I'm responsible for. So it's from first team, second team. We have also 5 teams in the women's football. We have few future groups, the best players in Śląsk, and it's from under 19 to under 6. And so there's so many groups, which I need to take care of. Of course, directly responsible I'm for the first team, second team, and the senior women's team. So there are 3 main categories I'm really focusing on. So I'm the guy which is approving the invoices, and also which is checking the costs, of those teams. If we are not going, I'm just checking, if we are going to 5-star hotel, 4-star hotel, 3-star hotel, it can be because the budget is not unlimited. So I need to be also responsible about the finances. And yeah, I'm just checking, what kind of food the player eats. I'm checking in which hotel they stays. To have a proper comfort, to have a proper preparation. Of course, I'm speaking with the coach, on everyday basis to see which players are injured, to which players training well, which players needs to push a bit more, So we always discuss the chemistry in the club, what we can do better. Also, I will work on the regeneration side of the pitch, outside of the pitch, the sauna, jacuzzi, and the ice machine, for example, etc. So what I did today, for example, I've been checking and approving the fuel costs, of our staff in the first team, for example. Now I have called with you. Also, the media part is very important, to be involved with the fans. So I'm also attending lots of radio and TV shows, to explain why we do that and why we do that. For example, what I will do today, I will go to the team, in next 1 hour. I will speak with the coach who is going for the game, what's the tactic for the game, and which players deserves to play. Of course, yes, he has 100%. He's 100% decision maker. I'm not telling him this player has to play, this player has to play. So that's no. I'm not strategy director. It's his responsibility, and I keep him for that. And I would say my role is mainly focus only on important stuff, and something what is not important, just to delegate the other people, and I would say I have few partners. I'm saying I have few right hands, so I feel like the octopus right now. And if you are talking about the first team, we have a head coach, Jacek Magiera, so he's responsible for his staff, and every single person in the staff reports to him, and he chooses what is important, which is not. So then he reports to me, for example. I also have a director academy, which takes care about the academy. So if there is something necessary, he speaks to me. I have a guy responsible for the women's football, so he also reports, what's happening in the football, but basically it's under my control. And if I need to steps in, I steps in, and yeah, basically also the plan in the budget, for example, how much money we can spend on the salaries, how much we can afford, because I don't want to be in the situation where we are not able to pay the players the monthly salaries on the time. So I also speak a lot with the finances. So in the office, just on my right hand is the accountants. We have 3 accountants. On the left side is basically the marketing, the selling, the sponsors, etc. So I'm on daily touch what we can do better, because the good product is better sold to the sponsors. So we are also discussing with the marketing team what we can do better, on the page, how to present ourselves, how the players has to behave, etc. So there's so many things going on. It's basically it's not the transfers and the scouting, so it's much more behind it. I would say scouting and negotiations is like 30% of the work. The 70% is the office work, is the relation work, and you have to always look good and sexy, as I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Social
engineering.
You have to be always prepared, for negotiations talks. You have to be nice and kind to all the persons. Even if you are not feeling great, you still have to, you have to be humble to the people and grateful, not the arrogant guy. So I'm not such a type. Even if you have good results, I don't need to be arrogant, because there's still a lot of path, to do. But I would say many things. There's also the Excel work. You need to write down the reports on the table. If you want to convince the board of directors, you need to write down, why this player is good. So you need to write the plus and minus, on the player side, and you're also speaking with the clubs about the leaving of our players, renegotiations of the new deals, etc. So much things going on. Right now we had to sold out against Legia Warsaw. So for example, I was thinking how to raise more seats, so I did from my office something like a skybox, so I could host over 30 people, extra, and it was the scouts from European clubs, because if I don't do that, we would refuse the clubs like Fiorentina, Parma, Ajax, etc. So because we were sold out, so there's also the small things I need to think about it, but in general, it gives us the value as a club, because we are trying to be very good host, for the fans, for the clubs. But in the end, it's about the football. So we are trying to improve on the pitch every day, and I'm a responsible guy, which needs to find the money for that, for the improvements, because everybody wants to have Etihad Stadium, with 10 pitches, but you need to somehow find the funds for that, and that's also the part of my business,
Absolutely agree. Well, thank you for this detailed explanation. Honestly, I'm not sure even that the people who will watch this understand those details, but I must admit neither do I until now. So there is a plenty of things to do for sure on a daily basis. But when it comes to the country that you are working in currently, Poland for sure has a rich football history. And
Yep.
how does the football culture or the football system or a way of work in Poland differ from other European countries, and how does it influence the club's operation and a fan base? Because we already spoke when we met in person about the Space Jam and let's say that part of the strategy. But can you give me your personal impression of Poland in particular?
Yeah, I've been living in London for 3 years. So I know English football, for example. I've been in many games, Premier League, Champ, League One, League Two. Then I was working in Czech Republic, so I was traveling also around the world. I've been Brazil, Ghana, Ivory Coast, Switzerland, etc. So I've been nearly traveling everywhere, and I saw at least one game in every league, already very engaged, which is good. But so I can have comparison. The Poland in last years, they are really growing, growing really fast. because the boom was on 2012 and was the Euro, and they built up four big stadiums. One in Warsaw, one in Gdańsk, one in Wrocław, and one in Poznań. So the four big stadiums was built up. And of course, the other clubs didn't want to stay behind, so they started to build up also the new stadiums. So I would say right now, 90% of the Ekstraklasa clubs has a really good stadium, really new one. And it's always better to come, to a new stadium which has a good atmosphere, and only what you need to fill it up with the people, to have a good atmosphere. And I think from the marketing perspective, it's even better, than in many countries across Europe, because the Poland mentality is very well known across Europe. The Poland guys are businessmen, so they are basically everywhere. In I would say in London there is 1 million Polish people, living. So actually, it's not hello the first word you hear in London, it's cześć or witam. So it's basically they are everywhere, and they can do the business, and they know how to do business. They are very hard negotiators, so that's also a reason why they negotiated a lot of money for the TV rights. So they have much more money for the TV rights than in Czech Republic, for example, or Slovakia. So it gives them opportunity to grow up, so invest the money to the club. And so I would say the facilities on the games are perfect. Also the video provider, it's 4G quality, so HD quality, and no, not 4G, 3D, but it's HD quality, so the visually, when you're watching the TV, it looks great, because it's really good to look at the screen. But also it's even better to come on the live, because the people has a passion, and they found it again. So after the COVID, the people started to come on the stadium. And I would say now this year we have the most frequency, in last year, so which is great. For example, on our stadium is over 20,000 every game, which is fantastic. Against Legia Warsaw was 40,000, so it's incredible. But now we are going to Ruch Chorzów. They are also opening a new old stadium, and there's going to be 30,000 people as well. So this is incredible. This is great. When I remember in FK Senica, there was usually 14 people on the stadium, and I was like one of them, and 3 of them was a security, and the others was the assistant coaches. So, and now we have 40,000 people, and it's something. Wow, it's incredible. We all love that, and the people love that as well. So the Polish guys are really good businessmen. They made good deals, with good sponsors. Also, the Polish Association is rich, and they are giving lots of money back to the clubs, which is very important. So they don't keep it for themselves and for their pockets. So they really give the money to the clubs to make the improvement. And I would say it's really good league. It's every year is better and better. Definitely from the marketing perspective, it's really good. Also the VIP facilities, for the hosts, for the fans are great. That's the reason why the European clubs likes to come. And also the infrastructure is great, because you have airport nearly in every big city. You have Kraków, Katowice, you have Warsaw, you have Poznań, you have Gdańsk, you have Wrocław. So this is a big airport, so these are international flights. They can easily come here, rent a car, and come on the stadium. So that's perfect from that point of view. Also, when you compare, so there are really, really expensive transfers from Poland league abroad, so, and the European clubs already find out that we have a good players, and they like to come, they like to bring them, because they can succeed in the abroad. So about the quality, I would say it's also growing, because the intensity of the league is every year growing and growing, and how the intensity grows, but they also add, I would say, special players from abroad, like Spanish or Portuguese guys, which can give the additional quality. So the league is intense, but also it's very interesting, because you have individualities in offensive positions. So the league is unpredictable. Everybody can win with everybody, so it's nothing like before the game you would say, okay, it's going to be 3-0 and that's it. It's nothing like that right now. And the league is very interesting to watch, because everybody can beat everybody. So that's the nice the thing on the league. So we beat Legia Warsaw 4-0, we beat Lech Poznań 3-1, we beat Jagiellonia 2-1, we beat Pogoń Szczecin 2-0. So actually we beat 4 teams from best 5, right now. Only Raków Częstochowa is missing, my former club. So but yeah, the league is fantastic. The league is fantastic. When you compare it to Czech Republic, it's much more valuable, I would say. Maybe in Czech is more intense, but the Poland, it will go over them very soon. So the league is gonna be much more better than Czech Republic in very short period.
I understand completely. And you mentioned the Portuguese players, you mentioned the Spanish players as well on the offensive part of the clubs usually there. So can you share some ideas or insights into the club strategy for player recruitment and development in Poland? Of course, are there any kind of unique challenges or opportunities that you would like to emphasize when it comes to that?
Look, I don't want to speak too much about my know-how, but it's about it's a public information and they can do that. Maybe they are lazy to find out the information, but when I came in, I analyzed all the goals which happened in Ekstraklasa last year, and that it's 35% of the goals coming from the crosses, 35 coming from the set pieces, and the rest is from the bouncing, behind the 16 box and shoot from distance. There's really limited goals from the good actions, like combination football. So if you eliminate, the wingers of the opponent and you have strong, big central defenders, which are very successful in own box, basically you eliminate 70% of the goals. That's another rocket science or nuclear science. That's mathematics of second class in the school. And I started to apply that. I made 10 transfers in the club. I changed also the mentality because we had soft mentality last years, and I needed to change it. So I changed it with the players, decent players. For example, I brought the center back from Bulgaria, which is, he's a natural fighter. The mentality is very close to the Poland one. Now I would say he's one of the best center backs in the league, maybe the best, and one of the best transfers this season for whole Ekstraklasa. I brought Peter Pokorny in the center mid, from Real Sociedad, young Slovakian guy, which is very strong, aggressive one, center mid. So I was more focusing on intensity, on fighting, and in very successful duels in defense. And of course, we try to play dominant football from first game, but we dominated in 3 games and we had 1 point. So we said, okay, we have to change the style a bit. Now we are playing more defensively and on counter-attacks, and it really works well, because we are very dangerous and we are a very compact, very balanced team, but we can beat anybody with the counter-attacks because we have also interesting players on the wingers, and also we have a best striker in the league, and it helps us a lot, So it's basically about to know what your league demands, what's your league needs, and how you can beat main of the opponents. So I was analyzing a lot Ekstraklasa, all the goals, all the chances, weaknesses, strengths of each team. So a lot of work behind, which I don't want to say how I'm scouting or how do I preciously do it, but it's pretty simple. Most of the goals coming from the crosses and set pieces, and we are very well covered, on that strategy.
Got it. And we right now we're on the, let's say, subject of the senior or first team football, but there is one fact that Poland actually has produced some notable football talent over the years and always was actually. So can you discuss let's say the club's role or the way of thinking when it comes to nurturing and developing local talent or any other future plan for that aspect? Because you just mentioned all of these teams and all of different divisions and different departments in your football club, of course. So what is, let's say, some ideas or point of view when it comes to that particular topic?
Yeah. Look, regarding academies, that's really lucky, because the Poland has a lot of scouts abroad, so they usually come back to Poland and share their ideas, their experiences, so there is nothing like they stay on the line all the time, and it's evolution in the Poland, so the people comes abroad, they comes in, and share insights. So it helps the grow Polish football, which is great, also the association is making the courses, for the sporting directors, for the scouts, for example, for the coaches all the time. So really there's good effort from the association, to educate the people, and after that they apply that in the academies, which is great. But also what is important, Polish association made a rule that in the Ekstraklasa needs to play one player under 20 years old, under 21 basically. In second league is a 2 players needs to play, and third division is a 3 players needs to play under 21. So basically it's kind of rules. It's kind of rule when they push you to play with the young players, the local players. It has to be the Poland player or the Poland passport player. And also there's extra points, if the player is in the national team or the young national team, etc. And on the end of the season, you have decent bonuses if you play with the young Polish players. So that's also motivational for the clubs to play with the young players. And even sometimes the club even don't know how the player is good, before they give him a chance. But this chance usually comes from that he must play, because this is the rules of Ekstraklasa. So in one way it helps. In one way it's not so good, because if the player is not really ready, so you giving him like a fake hope that he's a good player. So but in the end I think that system really helped to grow up few players, because look at Michal Škoras, he's now in Belgium. He was on the loan in Rakov Częstochowa, I think it's second division as well, because they've been looking for the young player and he needed opportunity. He couldn't get opportunity in Ekstraklasa. So he could get it in second division, and he needed to play because the Rakov needed to fill up the minutes with the youngsters, Polish guys. So it helped him with the growth. He moved back to the Lech Poznan, with more self-confidence, and he was sold for 6 million to Belgium. So a great move. And yeah, so that's the combination of education from the Polish association. Also, the Polish guys wants to educate themselves. So there's lots of video materials, on the internet. So it's up to you guys if you wanna educate yourself. There's lots of free materials, across the internet. Now you have AI technology, which helps you a lot. So it's only about the will and you want to, and you can be the good one. So we using all the tools, which is available on the market, on the internet. So. Yeah, that's the combination why the players, succeed in the Ekstraklasa and they move forward, because they have really support, from association.
Got it. Thank you very much for that answer as well. And finally, what advice would you like to give to young people, or let's say to those looking to enter the world of football, not only in Poland but in general, since you changed quite of a roles in your past and was also involved in the management of the football clubs, also as an agent, also as a biz dev guy in those companies. So what would be some general advice that you would like to give for the end of our today conversation?
Basically, for inspiring agents, sporting directors, etc., you need to get a paid job from the first time. Well, for the first time, I know it's easy it's not easy to be hired, by football club or by the agency, but I would say it's not about to send in the CV, and writing some bullshit into that, If you want to really impress, you should make the analyze already. Doesn't matter how it's gonna looks like, but if you apply, for example, for the job to Śląsk Wrocław, let's say you try your luck, and if I'm getting lots of CVs, but there's always writing, hey, I have the name, I'm fine, blah 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 blah, but there's nothing like, hey, this player can play better, this player can be better replacement because he has a better data, and those data are available on the internet, for free basically. So you have to impress, you have to sell yourself, because if you don't sell yourself, how you can sell the other player for the good money? So that's the main thing. And once you will get that opportunity, try to really shine, and try to be helpful, to the director, to the agency, to the agent, whatever, because it's about the trust, to build the trust. And also it's about the hard work. Sometimes the people get the job and they start to feel so comfortable, so satisfied, but they have to understand every single day some player finish the career and becoming a new coach or new agent, or new scout. So the competition in that world is enormous, and especially now when lots of agents didn't get the license, so they will try to turn from the agents to scouting position, for example, or the advisors, sporting directors, etc. So I would say every single day you need to learn the new things, because what I knew before 1 year and what is now available on the market, like the tools, the analysis, the data, it's growing really, really fast. It's like a train which is moving, and if you don't jump in him, that time you are lost, because let's say between 2015 2016, you had 1 million data, but now from 2022 2023 you have 1 billion data, so it's not 2 times bigger, so it's 10 times bigger every year, so, and it's really moving fast, moving forward. I would listen to podcasts, of the experts. Of course, I would prepare by myself the analysis, to impress, the director or the scout, and but not all the people will become a directors, because you also need the additional qualities. You can't be always humble. You also need to make hard decisions. Even your friend is playing for your team, you need to fire him because he's not good enough, and it's not easy. You need to find out which rule you have to speak, which rule you have to not answer, because when I signed with Śląsk Wrocław, I had like 3,000 messages on the WhatsApp, and 2,000 emails. If I will answer them, I will have 5,000 again tomorrow. So it's impossible. So action makes reaction. So basically you have to choose only the proper ones, and the rest you have to leave. Sorry, but I can't answer everyone. So that's impossible. Even if I have 10 people in the office which is only answering, the questions, they will not make it. It's impossible. So you have to focus on what is important. And I would say try your luck, learn the language, because English is important, but I think in the future the other languages are important as well. For example, for myself, if I want to be sometimes in Premier League, I need to improve my language, because I speak Polish, I speak Czech, I speak English, but if you speak with a British player and you need to explain him something, you need to have a perfect language, or if I want to be in Bundesliga, I need to speak German, because you will not get a trust or respect if you speak with a different language. So you have to adapt yourself, on that league. So it's about everyday improvement, everyday education. At least couple of minutes, couple of hours, if it makes you the time. For example, since I was young, since I was 16, I didn't come home and I didn't turn TV and watch the Miami criminal side, or something like that. For example, okay, I know Horatio Kane is a nice guy, but
For sure.
I like him, but I came home, I sit on the computer, I went to the FIFA page, and I checked all the agents, and I sent them the emails like, hey, I'm David Balda, I'm aspiring scout, would be great to get in touch, etc. So there's a reason why I built up the network about, I would say 20,000 connections, around the world. And if you ask me, hey, is that player good in Gambia? I will say I don't know, but I know 5 agents there, so I will ask them, or can you get me the tickets on Barcelona? I will say, okay, I don't know the president of Barcelona, but I know the agents which has the players there, so I can ask them to get the tickets, for example. So it's about the connections, the trust, between each other. So that helps me a lot, the network connections, because basically I have so many offers from the agents around the world, but immediately I can resend that player to 3, 4, 5 the other agents or the scouts from the clubs, and they will give me their real opinion, because every single agent wants to sell his player. So it's about the connections as well. And I was luckily, it's thousands and thousands of hours of works, nobody can see that, but if you count it, when I started at 16 and now I'm 32, so it's like 16 years, and if I will do it every day, if I will focus on 2-3 hours, to make the connections bigger, so you can count it how many thousand hours is that, and it's my advance, to the other scouts and to the other sporting directors, because I also don't have a family, I don't have a kids. Okay, I have a girlfriend right now, which is great, very supportive, but I also I would say changed the family life for the successful life as a director. So I didn't need to focus, to come home at 6 or 5 and take care about the kids and family. I exchanged that because it was my choice, my choice. And I said, okay, I will likely to work hard, and once I'm done, I can look at myself and say, hey, I did my maximum, to be the best sporting director. Of course, the family will come in some point, but I don't focus on that right now. So I still focus on development of myself, to make my connection stronger and bigger. So I would say that's only simple advice, work hard. There's no shortcuts, So okay, you can use AI for some researching, etc. But they can write you down, what's that information. But still, you need to somehow get it in the brain, and you can get it into your brain only when you read it and if you do something. So there is no cable like USB cable and C cable which you will put on your brain and it will stay there forever. So you can basically you need to learn, and you need to educate yourself. So that's pretty simple.
Thank you very much for your time. I mean, and for this inspiring conversation and motivational as well. Must admit, it was a real pleasure speaking to you, David. And hope we will have a chance to meet in person shortly and to discuss some other topics as well.
Yeah, perfect, mate. It was a pleasure for myself. Sorry, I speak quite a lot. I told you it's not going to be 25 minutes. It's 15 minutes right now, but I would speak all day about that. I would say if I will meet Pep Guardiola, I think we will talk, 1 month together, 24 hours, 7 days a week, 1 month in a row. So that's we are just passionate, about the football, and we like to talk.
Absolutely. David, have a great day and have a great rest of the season as well.
Thank you, man.
And speak to you soon.
Thanks a lot.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.